What's up everybody, Dave here. Arm wrestling is an amazing sport. It's filled with athletes of all shapes and sizes. Today we're going to be breaking down my own personal list of the top 10 most explosive pullers in the sport. Let's get into the list. Number 10, Dan Moser. Dan Moser is an arm wrestler from the USA who has dominated his weight class in recent years, competing anywhere from 86 kilos at Lottie Tour, which is arm wrestling's most prestigious tournament, to 95 kilos in the recent PAL Top 8. He is an absolute force to be reckoned with. His incredible timing and brutal side pressure combined with a great hand make him an absolute nightmare off the go. Like many pullers on this list, the match stops, then Dan might be in trouble. However, that is a lot easier said than done. Number 9, Hermes Gasparini. This Italian top roller has really burst into the super heavyweight arm wrestling scene, especially in the last 2 years, and he's shown up with newfound aggression and power. In the past, he's competed at 95 kilos and 105 kilos as Lottie Tour, but most recently he showed up at the whopping 130 kilograms at East vs West 2. And it certainly seems his explosiveness has grown hand in hand with his weight. Primarily a hand and wrist puller, it's all or nothing with Hermes, where either he busts back the wrist of his opponent or he loses his own hand. Coming off recent victories against Gennady Quickvinia and Arif Ertem, Hermes looks poised to challenge the absolute peak of arm wrestling with his brutal style. Number 8, Marcio Barboza. Living in the USA, but hailing originally from Brazil, Marcio Barboza is an absolute freak of nature who has been arm wrestling at the elite level for decades. He is one of the most versatile pullers on this list, able to hook, top roll and press, all with incredible speed and power. Not only does Marcio have an incredible hit off the go, but his aggression and power when the match stops is something to behold. Number 7, Richard Lupkes. Straight up, one of the strongest and most powerful pullers on this list. Richard Lupkes from USA largely didn't even train specifically for arm wrestling. The majority of his strength coming from his work in the gym and on his farm growing up. Widely known as one of the nicest and kindest guys you could ever meet, his gentle demeanour did not translate to the table. Incredible side pressure hits at lightning speed terrified his opponents and wasted arms left and right. Richard at one point took off 16 years from the sport before returning at age 51 and immediately reinstated himself at the top of elite super heavyweight arm wrestling. Number 6, Matt Mask. The wild horse from Canada, Matt Mask is known equally for his incredible ability on the table and furious celebrations. Primarily a low hand top roller, Mask decimates his opponents off the go with incredible speed and explosiveness. With one of the biggest and strongest hands in the sport, Mask aims to finish the matches quickly before the arm power of his opponents kick in. In the World Arm Wrestling League, Mask dispatched 2 of his opponents so violently that they suffered major injuries. Mask has been known to hype himself up so much that he's dislocated fingers and blown a quad. That's right, blown a quad in an arm wrestling match. Number 5, Talgat Aktayev. One of only 2 lightweight arm wrestlers on this list, Talgat weighs in at under 75 kilos, yet boasts one of the most insanely quick hits you will ever see. Talgat comes from the arm wrestling mecca that is Kazakhstan and has honed his hook and press to be almost faster than the eye can see. Talgat is one of those pullers who you really have to see to believe. While certainly not having the raw power of many on this list, he may just be the fastest, with one of the most brutal presses in the lighter weight classes. Number 4, Engin Terzi. Widely considered the second greatest arm wrestler of all time, nicknamed the Enigma of Rage, Engin Terzi is an arm wrestling legend from Turkey. Born in 1974, Engin has been arm wrestling at the elite level for decades. Engin described himself as one of the weakest arm wrestlers ever when he started. Yet, he quickly established himself as one of the most dedicated and obsessed pullers. Often sitting at around 65 kilograms, Engin would compete in multiple weight classes and dominate everyone, even pullers much heavier than himself. Engin possessed one of the most lethal and efficient top rolls in the sport, and pairing this with his complete focus and fury made him a terror on the arm wrestling table. Now, before we get to my top 3, if you've made it this far into the video, I just wanted to say that I appreciate you, and please like the video if you're enjoying it. Please subscribe if you enjoy this content. I plan on making more videos like this in the future. Number 3, Travis Bagent. Travis Bagent, known as the Beast, is one of the most tricky, cheating, and scary prospects in an arm wrestling match. Hailing from the USA, Travis was known as a left arm specialist. However, his right was absolutely no joke. Recently inactive and sporadically unmotivated, Travis showed up when there was big money on the line. And when he showed up, there was hardly anyone who could stop him. Boasting a high-knuckle posting-style top roll, Travis has incredible timing and brutal efficiency. Legendary for his trash talk and arguments with referees, Travis milked every single advantage he could get to finish the match in a matter of seconds. One of the most charismatic pullers ever, Travis's matches were incredibly entertaining, filled with explosive arm wrestling and drama. Number 2, Alex Kadera. One of the youngest superstars of the sport, Alex Kadera is an absolute giant, standing at over 2 meters tall and weighing around 150 kilos. Originally competing in professional American football, Alec recently changed his focus to arm wrestling. Only being in the sport for around 5 years, Alex has recently exploded onto the scene with lopsided victories over elite arm wrestlers such as Ryan Espy, Tobias Sperong, and Ermes Gasparini. With perhaps the greatest genetic potential among the current crop of elite arm wrestlers, Alex utilizes his huge frame to climb over, then crash down on his opponent's hand and arm. Despite his size, he has incredible explosive power and speed that make him one of the most formidable opponents on the table. Number 1, Andrey Pushkar. Andrey Pushkar was a legend of arm wrestling. Tragically passing in 2018 in a car crash, Pushkar had been on the verge of facing Denis Saplenkov for the overall number 1 in the world. There is perhaps no better way to describe Pushkar's style of arm wrestling than brutal power. Pushkar's hand strength and side pressure made for some of the most scary hits you could possibly imagine. Pushkar was a multiple-time world champion who had perhaps yet to even realise his full potential. The sport's all-time great, John Brzezinski, described Pushkar's hand as one of the strongest he had ever felt. Arm wrestling fans can only wonder at what Pushkar could have achieved with 20 more years in the sport. However, he still stands as one of the greatest to ever do it, and my number 1 for most explosive arm wrestler of all time. Well guys, that's my top 10. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments. Appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.